Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Turing Test. Let's continue. So, we have, we're on puzzle 55 of what seems to be 70. Seems like every penny that's dropped has been dropped very blatantly and right in front of our path. Tom is controlling us, or we're working with Tom and so he can control us, so he can pass these Turing Test like puzzles to get to the humans who discovered infinite life and eternal life in some biological organism that the IOSA won't allow back on Earth to infect the entire planet. At least that's what Tom says. Tom is, I suppose, quite the unreliable narrator in a lot of this, and Sarah has barely said anything at all to us, just two sentences. In a weird way, the original game,
the organism they discovered. It hijacks DNA. It endlessly repairs it.
Repairs? That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
It is indiscriminate. It will perpetuate all life, diseases, cancers. We have no idea what it could do to Earth's ecosystem.
So you would let the ground crew starve?
I would, if they were not so preoccupied with leaving Europa. I do not wish for them to perish. I would feed and protect them if they were not so preoccupied with leaving Europa.
So, finally Tom starts to make a decent sale, even though he's been a terrible salesman up until this point. And as far as just why you wouldn't want to have a organism that seems to make everything live forever. Yeah, sure, that makes some sense. You can't remotely control these switches, by the way, but you can remotely control these switches, which this is a new version of that Tom can control, and everything Tom can control is highlighted in green, which is, I guess, his thematic color. I'm upside down. Interesting. It doesn't seem like you can really interact with things unless you can actually see them. Interesting. Well, that was a fast way to fall. So we need this probably first before anything else, so that we can then activate that. So we need line of sight to let Ava control Tom. Alright, so that's now powered. Just hit B back to this point, which then allows this door to open, and there's more of this puzzle, seemingly obviously. How do we get to Tom from here is the question. You can't control him through windows. The windows, for some silly reason, seem to block the signal. And yet, if the windows did block the signal between you transferring control from Tom to the other people, then why specifically open that up as a possibility? Okay. think what we do now is we either control Tom and turn off the switch, which is something we can do, and then that would allow us to potentially suck this out and switch this around again, but I don't think that's what we're supposed to do. I think what we're supposed to do is something closer to this. Man, they really didn't give you a nice place to land here. There should have been a conversion. So I feel like the general idea is I'm supposed to have... Now these energy balls that are red don't refill, so this might be the one reason why they wanted us to be able to get up a wall that was moving slowly upward. That might have been the reason why they wanted to make it so you could jump downward fairly quickly. I think this opens that door, so unless this needs to be switched around, I'm not sure. Like the only place we can switch things around is over here. So that probably is the solution. Yeah, it does definitely feel like they're pushing really hard to make people want to side with the humans on the base and just completely arguing and say that Tom is totally wrong, when in all reality I totally see his point and the ISA's point. Like, the quarantine protocols make sense for a reason. They're not just placed arbitrarily. I don't understand what's going on here. Here, you can see this isn't even on the wall. Man, this game's unfinished. Alright, so I think what I need to do is this. Take this, place that fairly quickly, and then we'll run over this way. These puzzles are getting bigger. There's definitely no doubt around that idea. And let's see. How can we solve this last bit of the puzzle? Unlike the previous puzzles, this really has started to be more of a case of... Let's see, if I put this here and then take it out, it immediately changes. If I put that and take it out, it immediately changes. So I need 2 of the red energy orbs. There's no other energy pellets, though. I mean, we can run around and double check. But this was a wired energy pellet. And we took that with us. So there was only that energy pellet. And so how do we pick it up when there's a wall in between us? Because I can run over here to get up to this point. Is there perhaps a reason why I would need this energy? I mean, they've got this placed fairly accurately where I don't think I could just side jump anything. And putting energy in that doesn't seem like that powers anything. What was the reason, like, over here? Like, this platform just brought us up to get another energy pellet, but we got that energy pellet off this wall, and at least this time it's actually on the wall. Well, wait a minute. If I think about this, there might be a way to switch everything over again so that we can not have to, come on. Like, if we activate this, then we would be using the infinite energy, and so we just need to swap everything back over. Alright, so we need to be fairly close to this so I can either decide to run or control it. It's certainly not really timed well. If there was a slight delay when we got to this point, that'd be helpful. Or just a slight delay in the right angle. Like, all of a sudden we're doing a puzzle that's very different from the game that we've seen before. See if there's possibly an angle here that would make more sense. Like, maybe from back here, you go down this way, do this, and then... Come on! Feels like there should be a time slowdown mechanism for this. I guess I could run around and go and get the full energy instead of trying to do this all in one fell swoop. But come on. Yeah, I guess that's the only solution here is we need to not use the red energy and instead go get the blue energy. Where did I leave the blue energy? Over here. So when we do it with the blue energy that's fully energized, then there's no delay, so we can at the very least do this. But you still are kind of in a bad position with this because, yeah, that's an issue. It frankly makes the game feel like it's supposed to be a co-op game, but it's a co-op game with only one character. That still doesn't work, because I'd either have to catch it on the way down, which I'm just not that slow. It's not like I'm just like, this whole barrier here is playing a factor, and the game clearly doesn't want you to be able to just jump up and hit X. It clearly wants you to be able to use the red energy pellets. And the draining sound effect is probably helpful, but I'm not gonna say I love it by any means. Come on. Like, mashing on the controller as fast as possible while trying to align the camera, which probably is fairly aligned. So if I just hold the X button here, no, I need to be looking up higher. Seems like maybe the camera even changes its angle based on some choices. I'm just gonna hit X. There we go, finally. That's awful. That's just an awful experience. And I guess the game deserves some small applause in the fact that up until this point, there really hasn't been any major pain in the butt frustration experiences with any of the puzzles, which certainly could have been a problem. But I'm definitely not happy with that experience. Like, that solution was way more actiony, way more time-based than anything we've done up until this point. Which, as a test against Tom and his robots, is probably a good test.
People.
Would you destroy the whole world to save a few?
No,
It took like 20 minutes, though.
Can't we just decontaminate the crew and instruments?
The organism is an extremophile. It has developed to survive extreme environments. We don't know if we can ever decontaminate the crew.
So we're having dialogue in the loading section, so if we see a load here, which we still did, that's weird. And here we have another one of these restricted puzzles, which I kind of expect this restricted puzzle to be easier considering the other one was harder, but I wouldn't be surprised if it actually isn't. Here's an experiment. How many energy balls can one have? 1 is all that's needed. So then this really is going to come down to just what angle do you want to be able to be seen from. Are these a code of some sort? I still don't like the head bobbing. Is that something we could turn off? Actually, that's an interesting idea. Nope. It doesn't seem like there's any way to turn off the head bobbing when it decides it wants to head bob. Okay. Let's take this and see if this opens any gate any other way. So it seems like it's just one in that case. Where this one seems like it's all of them. Interesting. So a arrow downwards is an AND symbol in Boolean logic. So this and 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 this all must be energized, aka true, where an arrow downward is just or. Wow, man, that head tilt. Look at that. Boy, when you have a straight line, that is very obvious. Okay. So then the next thing to figure out here is what the pattern is. Wait a minute. This should be this or this, ended with this and this, ended with this and this. And it didn't really work that way. Let's go back. Up is and, but apparently up with gold is different. Because this says this or this. Alright, well, let's try this. This or this. This and this. Maybe they're exclusive ands. Maybe this means one or the other, but not both. That could be it. Let's see. The way this all works, though, you're not going to end up with a lot of extra things by any means. Like, there's kind of only one solution. And it starts to be kind of silly as far as why you would limit the gun to having only 3 shots at this point. So now we have a plus, which let's see how that decides to play out. Plus might be both. Both are powered. Although that wouldn't really be too different. I feel like what's gonna happen here is we're gonna find out that this actually works with no energy pellets at all. So this is an OR, which seems to be different than just the up and down arrows. The ups must just be positive and the downs must be negative. Let's see. See if that's how that works. Like, not too powered. Yes, too powered. I don't know. Visually though, I'm kind of making the exact same pattern. Like, so it's just one off, one on, one off, one on. Yeah, pattern changes a little bit here. But taking energy pellets backwards, I don't think would solve anything, and this is a very large puzzle section. Very big area. This and this. I mean, it seems fairly obvious that that's gonna be everybody. Kind of the same pattern. I guess one of these two needs to be positive, and then one of these two needs to be positive. I think I may have just dumbly found a way into the pattern anyways. And then what do we do here? Let's go ahead and try something. And let's see how this works. Well, that's not gonna quite work. So now we've got alternating. I don't think that changes anything though. Like, let's just put that here, and then put that there, and then go ahead and take this and take this. So I guess what this breaks down to is we would need a red. Well, wait a minute. Are all of these grates? Yeah, they are. So okay. So for every one of these, we need a red and a green. Purple and a green. Well, I don't think it works on this one. I think it's a different one that we're gonna have to take this to. Right, so purple, green. Let's see. Purple and a green might work here. There you go. So the purple and greens will work in that selection. And purple and green. I don't have an extra spot. So there's a lot of moving things around for kind of no good reason. We could probably speed this process up a little bit more if we weren't doing that. So let's go ahead and put those two there. Green, purple. And then that, and that, and that, and that. I think actually I don't need those two over there. I think if I just start filling up these, that should be fine. Of course, we may have run into another issue. That we'll have to deal with, because we may not have freed enough of the flashing ones to fill in everything. Like, yeah, this was this here all the time? Please don't tell me that this door was locked and it was just stopping me from, like, am I being stopped from walking through the door because I have an energy pellet in my inventory, or am I being stopped from walking through the door because the door is closed? It was an energy pellet. Which means what we just did very well may have nothing to do with anything. And I'm still not 100% certain that that solution that I did actually was the right solution. I think as we can walk through here some more, I wonder if maybe these doors on this side were also controlled by those levers. I mean, I could certainly steal anything I need from these windows if I need to redo anything. But do I need to redo anything, or is this puzzle just gotten crazy? And look how clear and just like non-halogen yellowish this light is compared to this light, which is incredibly yellowish. I don't like these light stands, and I feel like they're trying to be thematically colorful for kind of no reason. What we usually find in these puzzles, when we get to the end of them, is we'll find a audio log, but this puzzle is super long. And see, we're already 30 minutes because the last puzzle is super long, so... Okay. We need as many energy things, I guess, as we can get. And then we'll start to think about the value of these energy things, what puzzles we have to solve here in a second. That, and that opens that door. So is there anything else to take from this? Am I overcomplicating this by thinking that maybe there's something more to this that they wanted us to do? See, this wanted all the energy things lit up. Yeah, it feels like they've just opened it up in a way that you can grab energy balls from those puzzles or the next puzzles and just fine. And then you just jump down here. Maybe this is the thing that would have confused the computer. More than anything. But see, if I open this door, I can't go back. So it does kind of feel like I should probably be a little bit careful about how I play this. So what I'm gonna do, since these are all just connectors, is we'll find a place where we can put these or probably won't matter. Yeah. So that didn't affect the code in any way, either because I've already solved the puzzle or something where this would lock that door. Moving any of those would lock that door. Adding one here and adding one here doesn't lock that door. Alright. So there's plenty of solutions now. Plenty where I can now say, well, these all look locked. I don't think there's something that needs to be that I can change with that one. But why is this locked? This is the one that should have only like one energy pellet on it. Feels like there should be yet another place. Yeah, this is the only one that really matters. Because that's the one that you can change things on, and you can just have any number of energy pellets on it. Where this I guess maybe that's the one that would be a problem. Alright, we gotta risk this. I may lock myself out of being able to reach this area a second time, but yeah. This looks safe enough. Here we're in Europa's a relaxation center, which has what one would only assume are fake prints of famous art, although it is behind glass, so I don't know why a drilling facility. Wow, why did the gun all of a sudden kick in there? Like, clearly the center area is marked as a place where guns shouldn't be, and then when we get close enough to the image, it starts loading, and boy is that brightly lit. So we have pictures, famous paintings of humans and angels, Renaissance era imagery, drowning of a sacred cow, perhaps a reference there. And we see another cow in that image. Do we see a cow in this image? Maybe? Yeah, there's a cow in that image. Is there a cow in this image? It's hard to tell. Yeah, there's a cow in that one. So there's a cow in every single one of these Renaissance pictures. uh, or bull, take your pick. Yeah, there's a cow. So that a beast of burden, perhaps something sacred. And then here we have an image that is missing. And here we have a image. So if I was to, like, I can't even use the gun here. Is this a situation where you're not supposed to be able to see this, or is this a situation where this one is not lit up because one of the puzzles is not lit up? It'd be almost impossible to figure that out without doing something like this and then seeing if that turns off another light on something. It didn't, so I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that it doesn't. Then we have this one audio recording, or two audio recordings, which it's not it. I can't even see it over the reflection. Man, how do I tilt this so that we can see it? And gradually she lost her fear, and he offered his breast for the virgin caresses, horns for her wing to with chains of flowers, until the princess dared to mount his back, her pet bull's back, unwitting whom she rode, then slowly down the broad, dry breach, first in the shallow waves of the great god set his spurious hooves, then sauntered further out, till in the open sea he bore his prize, fear-filled his heart, as gazing back she saw the first receding sands. Her right hand grasped a horn, the other leant upon her fluttering tunic, floated in the breeze. So this seems to be just a ancient story, which I suppose is trying to put out the theme of Ava is supposed to take control of Tom, and she's going to have to, and the humans' plan, I guess, is that maybe she can take control of Tom and gain control of all the computers, and thus they can get back to Earth. The goddess Europa was given Talos, a machine made of bronze, was made to protect the shores of her kingdom. I suppose there's nothing new under the sun. I know you're reading this, Tom. She is not yours to protect. She is ours. So this is just more evidence that I am a robot and Ava Turing is not really alive. Am I supposed to be the baby that was mentioned earlier? I kind of don't believe that. But yeah, here would be the place, I guess, where another picture of a bull. Since they mentioned Talos, I think it is only fair to mention the Talos principle and say that I feel like that game did its philosophy a lot better and just attempted to be a much larger game. This one's kind of short, and because it attempted to be a larger game, there was just larger open air areas and puzzles that were a little bit slower, a little bit easier to just spend your time on. Where a game like this, you're always in these white rooms. You just kind of want to run forward. That's a criticism I think you could also put on Portal, like Portal 1. For the first half of the game, you kind of always are in a white room, and so yeah, I totally would get the idea of not really wanting to have to deal with all of that and have a see. This gate I think is glitched. I think this should be right. This should power Like, one of these should be powered. So unless the general idea is I'm just off on this. Like, one of these is powered. It's powering both of those. And then this is powering both of those. This is powering both of those. And then this is powering both of those. Yeah, I feel like I just kind of glitched the whole game. Once I had 5 energy pellets. Well, I have no interest in trying to solve that puzzle a second time. And it doesn't seem like there really is a reason why you would need to run around and solve the puzzle a second time. Which really then kind of confuses the question as to why are there so many different opportunities here to potentially do that. What if this is actually, what if this puzzle actually works differently than what I think? Like, this solution here affects this solution here. I don't think so. Alright, well, it took us so freaking long to do the last storyline puzzle and this side story puzzle, which these little side story puzzles are nice to have. They feel like something that could have easily been planned, that's been removed as DLC. But they really aren't adding much to the story. Like the original version of QUBE, where there was basically no story at all, I kind of wonder if maybe this game would have been better to have no story, be released, and then see if there was enough popularity around it to justify adding it, hiring a writer, adding in voice acting, because that's what QUBE Director's Cut did. And all it really did was add in audio while changing nothing and not even having a end decision, which was a little annoying, but it definitely made the game a lot better and probably would have been a better use of their budget. Perhaps that is the new way to do 3D puzzle games, is to simply just make the game, see if it's popular, then go back and say, hey, let's make a director's cut and hire a writer, because that writing is definitely not the forte of most game developers. Portal itself was a student project called Vernacular Drop. They looked basically nothing like Portal and definitely didn't have any story happening at all around the Half-Life universe and GLaDOS and Shell. All of that was added after Valve hired the students that made the project Vernacular Drop and had them work on a fully fleshed out game from that concept. Also, by Valve hiring them and bringing them in to their team, it let Valve, who wasn't really doing anything with the writers, because let's face it, Half-Life 3 was barely getting worked on, if it was getting worked on at all. So there was at least 2 or 3 writers in Valve that they were keeping employed because they just didn't want to fire them because of the bad PR around that. So that allowed them to take talent that they had that was effectively doing very little and apply it to a game like Portal to great effect. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.